Oh my God. Good morning. Good morning, all. I have my new co host with me. This is Hoover. Welcome, welcome all to the blockchain basement. What a day. Nasty, thick Bitcoin ETF flows over the last 24 hours coming from American based Bitcoin ETFs. All eyes are on the large potential that we're going to get an Ethereum ETF this week. Absolutely thick, absolutely incredible. And shout out to everyone in the chat. Shake and Make, Station C4, Sack Nasty, Mr. Drake Forward, C90 FTW. Where are you going? Where are you going? As you can tell, the babies at my wife took the kiddos to the doctor, so I'm on daddy daycare here with the pooch. He's a little one. He's only like I think maybe 7 weeks, 8 weeks old. So definitely a mover, a groover, a hoover. But what a beautiful day in the crypto market, you guys. We have a lot of stuff happening today. Again, one of my predictions has come true about my position on how easy it would be to institute a CBDC in the United States. This guy, do you want to go down? Let's see if he wants to go down. So just another hill for me to dance on today. Another, prediction that I made that, someone that I used to work with, actually used to work under, they used to run this thing, completely disagreed with me on this point. And again, I am proven correct time and time again. It just doesn't stop giving. Shout out to Big Hands Dan. What's up? But guys, what an insane day we're actually coming upon. It is a time of remembrance as well, because it is Bitcoin Pizza Day. Let's just check this out. I actually, hey, look at that. My computer's working overnight, kept working. I'm just going to give this a listen. This is quite a story. This comes from Bitcoin News. Happy Bitcoin Pizza Day. 14 years ago, Laszlo spent 10,000 Bitcoin. 10,000 Bitcoin for 2 Papa John's pizzas, marking the first time Bitcoin was exchanged for a real good. Absolutely incredible when you really think about it. 10,000 Bitcoin, currently trading at $70,000 per unit. 10,000 of them spent for 2 pizzas. This guy made a sacrifice to make one of the first transactions real world with Bitcoin.
I'm offering 10,000 Bitcoins in exchange for some pizza. And somebody there said, hey, I'll take you up on that offer. So I sent him the 10,000 Bitcoin. I said, okay, here it is. I'm waiting for my pizza. And, he phoned it in, he paid with his credit card, and the pizza showed up at my door. Here you can see the original pizzas, and that's my daughter's hand. She was a year old.
Wow. So you paid 10,000 Bitcoin for 1 pizza?
It was 2 pizzas, actually.
Oh, you got 2 pizzas out of it.
And, maybe the person spent $30, $40, something like that.
What would it be worth today?
$80 million.
Oh my God. Wow. 80. This is, it's $700 million pizza. Holy shit. Absolutely incredible. Does kind of look like Voss coin as well. C90 FTW. Good point. Just an incredible thing. Look at his eyes, just realizing, oh my God, what have we missed out on? Let's check out what's the prices of crypto doing right now. Sitting here around 69.5, not too shabby. Ethereum shaved off a little bit from its run up earlier in the week, but I think that, it's something on the Ethereum ETF. Remember, we had, once we had the Bitcoin ETF put into place, you had a large amount of changing of hands from Grayscale ETF or just the Grayscale BTC into the new actual Bitcoin ETF. Just a word of caution, we may see some short-term transitioning into the true Bitcoin or Ethereum ETF, rather, just as we saw Bitcoin ETFs previously. Something to keep in mind. Yes, it's going to be long-term bullish for Ethereum in a big way, but just keep that in mind. If you're trading on the, if I'm trading on the weekly or more specified smaller time frames, I am definitely keeping that in mind. So, with that, we had on the Bitcoin ETF side, we had this. Bitcoin ETFs saw a net inflow of $300 million on May 21st, with BlackRock's IBIT leading the pack at $290 million. So these ETFs showing no signs of weakness here. Really just took a temporary breather, took a moment. I had to put a hat on. I like my hat. Arculus hat. I like this hat. So seeing this Bitcoin ETF, this ETF in China been kind of lackluster. Don't get too worried about it. I tagged another thing from Tech Dev, just highlighting this time frame, man, we are in confluence with this guy pretty hardcore here. I just want to take a look at it. Bitcoin to US dollar. You can see you have 20 months essentially marking to the highs, and that pretty much has played out the last 2 cycles according to his data here. 20 months from now and this time frame, from the VI flipping, the BBW flipping, he's highlighting this max compression level here. Really landing again right at March 25th. So this is something that I'm keeping in mind. Now, when it comes to 2025, you guys, it's coming too damn fast. It's coming too damn fast. So I am getting involved in, very low market cap plays, things that I have good conviction in. A couple of those, meme coins for sure. I've had some happy surprises this morning, and it all is, the politify sector. What Trump's doing now that he's opened up, he's accepting cryptocurrency as a payment for his donations, right? And immediately after, Joe Biden, hey, we'll take crypto too. Hey, we're not the bad guy here. We're not against crypto. Joe Biden knows he's losing the young vote. He's trying to change his tune before it's too late. The sad part about it is, Joe, that you are far too late. The people of the United States realize the absolute destruction that you have done to the middle and lower class here, and they're tired of it. They're not going to take it anymore, and that's what I see coming. And that's also, you tag that onto this potential for forced CBDCs on a populace that's already disenfranchised and disillusioned with the current status quo. They're not going to have it, man. Think about trying to implement a CBDC on a bunch of farmers in the middle of America. How in the hell are you going to pull that off? What are you going to do? Go there and force them to hand over all their dollars? Go over and force these smaller communities to stop working with each other in the transfer of dollars, rather? It's just going to make them move into something completely different. Heard Trump was taking it. Didn't hear that Joe started taking it too. Yeah, Joe Biden been floating the idea to also accept cryptocurrencies as well. And, there is no stopping this revolution that we have right now, you guys. It's even taken hold in the UK with the Bitcoin ETFs, their version of them approved in the UK. This is from Eric Balchunas replying to the news that Bitcoin ETFs have been approved to trade on the London Stock Exchange. It's true, but few important details, only physically backed allowed. 2 wisdom tree ones to start, and retail bans still in effect. Isn't that just wonderful? So the retail ban's still in effect, but the haves can keep getting more, and the have-nots will keep losing in the UK. I'm sure this will change. I am sure this will change. More money, more abundance, highlighting Peng. I've seen Peng floating around. Another, and I hold a token called D-Bar, Dark Baron Trump, and I definitely got in early, but I am not effing going anywhere on this one. This one I'm looking to hold this line right at around 100K market cap. Actually added to the position because the first buys were before this. Now and I saw this run up. This ain't nothing. I'm not going to be I'm not going to be taking profits until we're in the tens of millions. I want tens of millions of dollars on this one because I see things like this. This is a good lesson, a good comparison. Trump Pepe, I saw it when it originally came out, super awesome. Didn't get in before this, but then I saw over the course of this time, you'd look at this chart and you just assume, man, this is dead, right? Not going to do this. Well, what I saw here was a little bit of waking up from Trump Pepe right around a month ago. So I did move into this position. Today, it's up from my original entry point by about 150%. So not a huge move on it yet. It's market cap at 418K, but the whole politify sector, man, I got to be involved with it because we saw what Trump token did from $4 million on up to where we are now. I am not going to be missing out on this shit by a long shot. And I really think that all this politicization of, the crypto sector as a whole, it's real. These, Joe Biden's camp, Trump's camp, they both realize that the young generation and big money holders, even for, people that are, pretty well off or in their middle age areas, they're going to be making their voices heard. They're not going to be sitting here forced into, CBDCs, all this stuff. And when I hear CBDCs are inevitable, there is no stopping CBDCs. I just absolutely completely disagree with that in the United States. It's because they don't have a monopoly on violence here in the United States, and people will not be rugged out of their ability to hold value without it having expiration dates on it or being silenced if we like the wrong post from the next political incumbent. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And on this whole thing, we did see this. Elon Musk is accepting RFK's request for him to host the presidential debate with President Biden and Donald Trump. This would absolutely be insane if all four of these were on the same page. Holy shit. This is, and likely what's going to happen is Biden will say no. And then Trump will say no because Biden's not going. I really hope that they are able to actually come to a conclusion and make this thing happen, because the world needs that kind of conversation happening right now in a big way. One can only hope. Now, we see this, like Donald Trump this is from Joe Biden, saying that Donald Trump is echoing language of the Nazi regime, saying that he's trying to build a Reich, trying to hold on to power. What the fuck are you talking about, Joe? He is not in power. You are the one that's in power right now. So what the hell are you talking about? I care about you. Oh my God, the psyop is real with this guy. He just will not quit. Go take some more adrenochrome. Why don't you? Now, on the side of, this whole chaos happening with Joe Biden, it's something that, the powers that be, they would love for us to be quiet, to just accept the CBDC, be amazed that it's actually going to show up, or we could just be pissed before it even shows up. Let them know, hey, we're not going to accept it as an option here in the United States. Sure, you might be able to go do that to other places that have been disarmed already, but not here in the U.S. And I really hope that, we feel the need to make our voices heard here in crypto, you guys. Like, there is, one coin or another, sure. Maybe I'll like one coin's price action more than the other. It doesn't mean that I dislike the person or the people that are holding the crypto, because it's a gargantuan community that needs to have a cohesive voice, a cohesive movement together to make actual change happen. If you want to stop the central bank from stealing your livelihood, your kids' livelihood, everyone around you's livelihood, you need to be out there, you need to be outspoken, and you need to put your neck on the line. It's the only way to do it. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, but not sorry. And when we see this, when I was talking to Nick about it, all those attorney generals from the United States pulling out of BlackRock then shifting their ESG focus into cryptocurrency, other types of things that are more reasonable. It all comes because those state attorney generals drew the line. They absolutely stopped those ESG losses for their books. Not only losses, but the ESG initiatives to actually disband those states' ability to produce, because a lot of energy production is what makes up Texas's value. So, that is something that you got to keep in mind. And then I saw this. Here it is. Several states taken steps to block a central bank digital currency. Indiana was the first state to pass legislation related to the central bank digital currency, enacted in 2023, a law explicitly excluding a CBDC from the definition of money under the state's uniform commercial code. Similar law enacted in Florida last year, and this year South Dakota, Tennessee, and Utah followed suit. Nebraska bill repealing the capital gains tax on gold and silver also changed the definition of money in the state tax code to exclude CBDCs. This year, Indiana took a second step to hinder the implementation of these things. Additionally, under the law, the state government bodies are prohibited from advocating for or supporting the testing, adoption, or implementation of a central bank digital currency in the United States. Alabama, North Dakota, and Georgia have passed similar laws. You heard my Fargo come out of me when I brought up North Dakota. Most of my family is, first Luxembourg, but then a lot of them moved to Fargo, North Dakota, of all places, for the White Earths to land in the United States during the Great Change. And it is absolutely beautiful to see these states starting to stack up. Let's read into the impact here. It remains unclear how changing the definition of money in the UCC and other steps taken at the state level would play out in practice. Okay, so they're saying, okay, you're saying that there's a law, but you're going to be overtaken by the federal government's wishes, because the UCC has been universally adopted. Businesses can enter into contracts with the confidence that the terms will be enforced the same way by the courts of every American jurisdiction. Now, what did we see at the border not too terribly long ago? What did we see? We saw Texas flip the middle finger to the United States federal government. We saw the federal government unable to enact the things that they wanted to do, opening the border wide open at specific locations, and the Texas National Guard took control of that situation. Now, if you see what I'm talking about here, the feds, they got a lot of bark. The states, in my opinion, have a lot of local bite. And when it comes to talking about what American citizens will and will not accept, I think that is much more decided on a local level more than anything. And, more power to these states. Please, for the love of God, support the people that are pushing back against this stuff. This is why I bring up, Tom Emmer. Tom Emmer explaining the need for framework to keep innovation in the U.S. and how a CBDC is not consistent with American values. Any digital currency used in the government by the government must be open, permissionless, and private. It can't be used. Let's see here. Where did it go? It can't be used like the Chinese yuan, right? And he's just highlighting it can't be used like these expiration dates, this insane surveillance tool that's coming after Chinese citizens right now. Because if you don't remember, Uncle Joe has sold us out to China. He has taken millions of dollars from Chinese companies. He's afraid of you bringing it up. He's afraid of having to answer the question of, why'd you do that, Joe? Did you sell us out? Isn't that treason? Isn't there isn't there some sort of judgment that comes from treason? Yeah, it's death. It's death. So Uncle Joe selling us out the way he has, and then refusing to answer the questions about the millions of dollars that he sold us down the river for to the Chinese years ago, and probably still doing it, but it's not exposed. It's not verifiable yet, so I won't speak on it, but I can assume so. This is either you're pro-freedom, you're pro-crypto in one camp, or you are part of the controlled demolition of your own area. Now, yeah, veteran crypto, I'm also surprised, but dude, I'm surprised. I think we are going to get an ETH ETF. I think we are going to get an ETF. And you know what? Someone else brought up something pretty important that I should probably be covering right now, and it is the cyber attack warnings on our water infrastructure. And I am going to be coming out with a video this weekend talking about this. Where is it? Let's see here. Yeah, here it is. So an enforcement alert has been issued to protect American water systems from a cyber attack. This isn't already a thing. Let's make it simple. Anything that's the survival of mankind dependent on, go ahead and protect it. Now, this is a complex situation. Now, Joe Biden, I don't think he's going to help us stop this thing. I think he sold us out to the Chi-Coms. But Iran and North Korea and China for decades now have been soft hacking our critical United States infrastructure. I know this because I used to work in the power industry as an armed guard and cyber guard in a way, essentially monitoring the incoming emails and communications that were going in and out of the system. There's a lot of soft hacks that have been happening, malware that has been put into place on our systems. And, I think we kind of do a disservice in the amount of cybersecurity professionals that we put in place on these locations, because this is one of the largest threats to the United States. I don't think that a foreign invasion really sits as a major threat. I think that the gun behind every blade of grass conversation that was brought up during World War II still remains true. They know the mainland of America is absolutely stacked with 2A. They don't want to go that way, but if you can cut off their critical infrastructure, poison the water, shut down electricity, then they would be able to see us rot from within. So, yeah, Iran so far away. Oh my God, we should make that into a song. We should absolutely make that into a song, Crypto Crab Man. That would be a good one. But watching out for this, you guys. This is why I prep pretty hard in the background. I mean, I do everything I can. I got a lot of stuff going on, but I got a lot of kids to take care of. Got a lot of things to watch out for, and that is definitely one of them. Hopefully this week we'll be able to have a release of something that will be able to build up our positions of strength when it comes to these types of things. In my mindset during COVID, since I already had all the preps together, I saw everyone going and rushing to Costco to beat each other up over toilet paper. I already had like a year's worth of toilet paper, a bunch of like 6 months worth of food at the time. So I was able to use all the excess money that I had. And while everyone's running around with their hair on fire, worrying about how they're going to get a Bic lighter and a bunch of toilet paper, I was out buying Bitcoin for $4,000 a unit. And it actually ended up turning out pretty darn good. Ethereum was $180 at the time. Didn't do too bad at all. And it all comes into that framework of having an absolute unmovable mindset. If you have conviction, if you have that mindset, if you have the focus, there is no stopping you. So what's up from Hong Kong? Chewy, what's up? That's pretty cool out there in Hong Kong. Let us know how it's going. What time is it out in Hong Kong, dude? Let us know. That's pretty awesome. But now we're talking about, I have a lot of other things to cover. This pissed me off though. Why can't I have a Helix sold to me in the United States? I am absolutely hell-bent on buying one of these things now that the government in the United States has told me, no, I cannot. Now, they put a tariff, a 25% tariff, tax tariff on Helix sales here in the United States, with why Toyota doesn't sell them. Toyota Helix, I'm doing it, you guys. I am absolutely buying a Toyota Helix. Now, I talked to my wife last night, and you know, there's a lot of concern about not having 3 rows of seats. For the love of God, this thing is going to be my farm truck. I'm going to be going around town. This is the #1 choice of some of the most chaotic armies on the planet. These things just do not quit, you guys. The Toyota Helix is just an absolute savage. Imagine this. Imagine this. Losing all of your money right before the greatest wealth transfer in human history. This is the angriest I've ever been. 24-year-old astrologer lost $440,000 by day trading crypto and now lives on credit card debt, also on OnlyFans, showing the old butthole there. Now, obviously, very minimal conviction with Marin. Also trading off of the horoscope and astrology path, maybe not the best thing to do when you have tangible reasons for the world to shift into digital payments, digital backing for other failing fiat currencies, digital backing for hedge funds like BlackRock that oversee trillions of dollars and that CESG and commercial real estate going in the red, got to pivot into something that's highly profitable. Maybe those could also play into the astrology, or maybe not. This is just what an absolute L looks like. And the decline of Western women in large. You know, I think that the most punk rock thing we can do right now, in light of what the psyops we see on Netflix and media telling us to disband the nuclear family, I think the absolute biggest, most punk rock thing we can do is raise a beautiful family, take care of our wives, take care of our children, and do the right damn thing. You know, this short term, make me a millionaire overnight, you know, this whole mindset of immediate gratification, of instant, viewership ability. If you go on Instagram, the grass looks so green on the other side for people. And I think that they're falling for that psyop. It's a long-term game. And it's really sad to see the loss of the power of the family unit here in the United States. I'm trying to bring it back. I'm trying to lead by example. And it's not easy. You know, it's not easy having a bunch of kids, and having to, I probably am going to have even more chickens born on the land, and it's going to be even more work. But God dang, it feels so gratifying to really have that fortitude and to see the fruits of my labor come to fruition. Now, my daughter is, excited to help me around the house. You know, they can be your friends. They can be your colleagues in this world, you guys. It doesn't have to be so grim. I hate that the family unit is viewed as such a grim outlook. Oh, I have kids, I can't do anything. When I had kids, it made me realize I need to stop touring around being this famous, poor, heavy metal musician, and I need to focus on how to actually build something real, something that will last generations, legacy. The real wealth that I'm trying to get here is legacy. And with that, I'm in crypto right now, hammering in. I did put a post out that, I'm going to be selling my crypto March to May of 2025 if we continue down this path that we're on right now. I'm not sorry about that by any means. Transferring that into houses, vehicles, hard iron goods, such as the 2A. But, there's a reason why I like to, beyond all the financial woes that we see, guys, think about the need for a go bag or a bug out bag or a medical bag. Vehicle crashes happen all the time. That's one of the number one killers of people in America. And, we've seen a lot of, people kind of coming at me saying, yeah, you have this go bag, this emergency medical bag. There's no need for it, man. How about be prepared in case you see someone off the road that's flipped over and they need a tourniquet and you got it? Think about what you could do for that person's life. Think about if you're in a situation like this here in Greenfield, Iowa. A tornado went through there last night through their downtown district. A drone flight from one end of the town to the other shows this catastrophic destruction that happened. Absolutely devastating what's happened to this town. And, I agree with this. Find any way we can if you have the funds. Donate to the right organizations. Please, for the love of God, don't donate to Oprah Winfrey again. Another psyop. If you see some Biden shill coming out saying that they're going to do right with your funds, just assume not. Now, I want your guys' opinion on this. This is a flashback to 1955 when the Brooklyn Dodgers, Jackie Robinson, stole home from the New York Yankees catcher Yogi Berra and the pitcher Whitey Ford during the Game 1 of the 1955 World Series. Was he safe or not? Yogi obviously pretty upset here. So here's one view of it, and let me know in the chat. Is he safe or not? So he's obviously upset. Let's go back to the beginning here. Let's see. So we got the swing. It is so damn close. But then this is a new angle. Slowed down. I think he's safe. I really think that he was safe. I think that this is the right call with this secondary angle. You guys gotta let me know. Do you think Jackie Robinson was safe or not? This was being hotly contested last night. Now, Biden just keeps on going with this guy. So Joe Biden is going to release 1 million barrels of gasoline to lower the prices right around election season. Right. This is two predictions came true in just a short amount of time here for me, just in time for the election. The Biden administration will release these barrels of gasoline to the Northeast Reserve to lower the summer prices here for the July 4th holiday. Energy Secretary Granholm says we're ensuring sufficient supply flows to the tri-state and the Northeast. Critics argue the reserve provides minimal relief but aims to help as summer driving season begins. This move follows congressional mandate to sell off the 10-year oil reserves. And there's Joe, just pleased as ever with himself. Now, quick reminder that the oil reserves are meant for our military. We are seemingly just found ourselves behind NATO. We do make up majority of the funding behind NATO. And what's NATO involved with? Quite a bit of different conflicts across the world right now, primarily Ukraine. Now, interesting to see, Taiwan hasn't popped off yet. We see Parliament getting a little feisty over in Taiwan. We've seen some of the highlights about the chip kill switches that might be in place. Should Taiwan be invaded, they might just light it all on fire and walk away. And today on the money side, speaking of chips and chip design, NVIDIA designs a lot of the chips, and it's going to have its earnings call today. If NVIDIA doesn't beat earnings expectations today, the earth will indeed explode. Now, with NVIDIA earnings, been watching primarily Render as a follower of this price action. Render, one of the big winners, over the past year, you can see building out what honestly kind of looks like an altcoin cup and handle. Johnny Childs. Oh my God. What is that? My man Johnny just walked in. He's probably not going to come on air because he refuses to say hello. He's just smiling at me right now. What's up, Johnny? So we got Render. Render's probably going to have some good action. There's so many AI tokens out there. It's really hard to go and just pick a few that are going to be the big winners of today. Honestly, you guys, we're very early on AI, Near Protocol, Render, and I actually increased my position on Near pretty substantially over the past few weeks here. I just saw it dip to prices I haven't seen in quite a while. Look at that jackknife down to the downside. So when it was down here, I was just like, you know what? It's been a while since I've been able to see $7 flat near or below. So I decided to build out a little bit more of the portfolio. Not too much, but got to have diversification. So Sora? What's Sora? Sora, like, well, get on you gotta have a microphone. Well, no, I got hold on, John. Yeah, just come sit. I got that. Is this it right here? This one? Which one of these is it? Sora AI. Let's see here. The Sora AI? This one? Let's see here. This looks horrible, Johnny. I think this is the wrong one. This is definitely the wrong one. Sora AI. Okay. Just came out. Okay, comparing it to Fetch. Fetch AI. What do we got here? 251. I should have known you were coming in here, Johnny, and left your microphone on. Fetch AI. Yeah, again, kind of a similar chart pattern on a lot of these different AI tokens. A lot of people calling for, the great collapse of AI tokens at large. Guys, we are just getting, and yes, think back to the rollout of the internet. AOL, is AOL a big thing still? No, but it's turned into something else. And, Mozilla, Firefox, Mozilla is actually still around. Firefox, sure, but it's an ebb and flow. These companies, they don't necessarily all go to the moon. They all have their own little pieces of the infrastructure that they grab, and then they move from there. So I think the DC boys are probably getting going, so I gotta but on Sora AI, I'm gonna find the right one, Johnny, and we're gonna be covering that on the 2 p.m. one. But I hope you guys are all doing fantastic. Give Discover Crypto a shout out for me, and I'll be seeing you at 2 p.m. Where's that dog? Is that dog around here somewhere? Did the dog leave, Johnny? Where's the dog? All right, I gotta go. I gotta find this dog. See you guys.